जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरा वनचारी यमुनतीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरा वनचारी यमुनतीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
सत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सच ठाकुर गोसाई महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद के नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, नवद्वीप धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की है, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की है, सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरंग, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला प्रभु। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Oh, no, that's yeah. So can you hold the mic when you play the flute? So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, Text 26. धर्मार्थ काम इति यो अभिहितस त्रिवर्ग इक्षा त्रयी नैदमो विविधा च वार्ता मन्ये तदेतद् अखिलं निगमस्य सत्यं स्वात्मार्पणं स्वसुहृद परमस्य पुंसाम्। धर्मार्थ कामा इति अभितस्त्रिसर्गा इक्षा त्रिनयदमो विविधा च वार्ता। Oh, it's Brahma Samhita? Chinda, okay. धर्मार्थ काम इतियो अभितस्त्रिवर्गा इक्षा त्रयी नयदमो विविधा च वार्ता। मन्ये तदेतदखिलं निगमस्य सत्यम् स्वात्मर्पणं स्वसुहृदं परमस्य पुंसा। धर्मार्थ काम इतियो अभिहितस्त्रिवर्गा इक्षा त्रयी नयदमो विविधा च वार्ता। मन्ये तदेतदखिलं निगमस्य सत्यम् स्वात्मर्पणं स्वसुहृदं परमस्य पुंसा। धर्मार्थ काम इतियो अभिहितस्त्रिवर्गा इक्षा त्रयी नयदमो विविधा च वार्ता। मन्ये तदेतदखिलं निगमस्य सत्यम् स्वात्मर्पणं स्वसुहृदं परमस्य पुंसा। धर्मार्थ काम विदस्त्रिवर्गा
धर्मार्थ काम इतियो विहितस्त्रिवर्गा
ईशात्रयीन यदमो विविधा च वार्ता मन्ये तदेतदखिलं निगमस्य सत्यम् स्वात्मार्पणं च स्वसुहृदा परमस्य पुंसः
dharmartha iti yo vihita strivarga ikshatrayi nayadama vividha cha varta manyetat etat akilam nigamasya satyam Svatmar panam svasurida paramasya pumsaha.
Mataji? Dharma, religion. Artha, economic development. Kamaha, regulated sense gratification. Iti, thus. Ya, which. Abhihitam, abhihita. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Abhihitaha, prescribed. Trivargaha, the group of three. Iksha, okay. Self-realization. Trayi, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Naya, logic. Damao, and the science of law and order. Vividha, varieties of. Cha, also. Varta, occupational duties or one's livelihood. Manye, I consider. Tat, them. Etad, these. Akhilam, all. Nigamasya, of the Vedas. Satyam, truth. Swa Atma Arpanam, the full surrendering of one's self. Swa Suhrida, unto the Supreme Friend. Paramasya, the ultimate. Pumsa, personality. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Religion, economic development and sense gratification. These are described in the Vedas as Trivarga or three ways to salvation. Within these three categories are education and self-realization, ritualistic ceremonies performed according to Vedic injunction, logic, the science of law and order, and the various means of earning one's livelihood. These are the external subject matters of study in the Vedas, and therefore I consider them material. However, I consider surrendering to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to be transcendental. Purport. These instructions of Prahlāda Mahārāja stress the transcendental position of devotional service as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, text 26. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samtityaetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. One who fully engages in the devotional service of the Lord is immediately raised to the transcendental position, which is the Brahma Bhuta stage. Any education or activity not on the Brahma Bhuta platform, the platform of self-realization, is considered to be material. And Prahlāda Mahārāja says that anything material cannot be the absolute truth, for the absolute truth is on the spiritual platform. This is also confirmed by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 45, where he says, Tray Gunya Vishaya Veda, Nistray Gunyo Bhavarjuna. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above those modes, O Arjuna. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna. Be transcendental to all of them. To act on the material platform, even if one's activities are sanctioned by the Vedas, is not the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is to stay on the spiritual platform, fully surrendered to the Parama Purusha, the Supreme Person. This is the object of the human mission. In summary, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies and injunctions are not to be discounted. They are means of being promoted to the spiritual platform. But if one does not come to the spiritual platform, the Vedic ceremonies are simply a waste of time. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma swa anushtita pumsam vishvaksena kathashuya no padyet yadi ratim shama evahi kevalam. Duties dharma executed by men, regardless of occupation, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Supreme Lord. If one very strictly performs the various duties of religion but does not ultimately come to the platform of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, his methods of attaining salvation or elevation are simply a waste of time and energy. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurau Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhayavcha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, very important verse and very beautiful purport with some nice details in this, where Prahlāda Mahārāja is instructing his classmates about the transcendental position of devotional service. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport mentions there are different rungs or different levels of devotional service. And in the Vedas, the ritualistic ceremonies are there, but he says they are not to be discounted because they are also meant for elevation to the spiritual platform. Just like a child is studying in a lower grade, he might not know, the subject matter of higher grade, but that doesn't mean that, they are of no value. They are actually rising slowly to that platform. But they should always have that aspiration. The compass of their aspiration should point towards the goal of devotional service. So that is the right understanding. And if one does not come to the spiritual platform, then the Vedic ceremonies are basically a waste of time. Generally it is said, if you don't get a job, what is the use? People are studying and everything to get some goal. So similarly, all these Vedic ceremonies and everything is meant to actually perform pure devotional service to the Lord. So, in this regard, I just wanted to mention about, the pure devotional service of the cowherd boys. You know, in the morning time when Krishna gets up and he calls all the gopas and all the cows, so he plays the flute. And when he plays the flute, each and every cow can actually hear the name. They can understand that Krishna is calling them. And the cowherd boy, they get ready, and in the morning time they go to the Govardhan forest to graze the cows, and the cowherd boys are excited. They pack their lunch boxes. Their mother gives them the lunch boxes to take during the noon time. So everybody is ready. So as soon as Krishna plays the flute like this, so all the cows will come now to the new Govardhan temple. Yeah, please share the verse.
He's leaving. He's going out. Right?
Yeah.
Barhapidam nadavadavapu karnayo karnikaram Bimbrudmasak kanakakapisham bhaijayanting chamalam Randran veno hadadasudhyapudayan gopa vrindaya Vrindaranyam sapadadamanam prabhishan gita kirti With lovely peacock plume upon his head and fragrant flowers placed upon each ear, he entered Braja's wood with graceful tread, a handsome dancing actor without peer. His golden yellow raiment brightly glows, his splendid garland reaches to his knees, and from his luscious lips the nectar flows, and fills his flute with charming melodies. As Krishna thus begins his blissful day, with cowherd friends who sing his glory sweet, he beautifies Vrindavan's forest way with fine impressions of his lotus feet.
Very well. Okay. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Such a beautiful prayer. Nice verse. Chapter 21, Canto 10. Yeah. Venugit. Okay. Nice. Thank you, Prabhu. So, so this is very special. New Govardhan is there, and Krishna is cowherd boy, and you're playing the flute. So it's very wonderful. So Srila Prabhupada gave us this understanding, the different levels, starting from the Vedic knowledge to Srimad Bhagavatam, pure devotional service. And Srila Prabhupada got that instruction from his Guru Mahārāja, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj, whose 150th year of appearance we celebrated yesterday. So it was a very big day. In India also they released a stamp for Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. The government of India released that in his honor. And we are also celebrating a big festival this weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday. 2-day festival. So it's a great moment for all of us to celebrate these teachings. And one time Srila Prabhupada wrote to his Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada was in Mumbai and his Guru Maharaj was in Puri. So he wrote a letter saying that, my dear Gurudev, I am a grihastha, and I am doing this business, and you have so many sannyasi and disciples and brahmachari disciples, they are doing so much for you. I am not able to do anything. So please tell me, how can I serve you best? So he put a letter and he posted in a envelope and in a box. So he took some time before it reached him, and then very soon he got a reply. And Srila Prabhupada saw in the reply that he mentioned the same instruction that he gave him the first time at the Ulta Danga Junction Road when he saw him for the first time, that you are a young man, why don't you preach this message of Lord Chaitanya to the Western world in English language? So he got the same instruction. And after that letter, 2 weeks later, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur left this mortal world, and that was 1st of January 1937, 5:30 a.m. in the morning. So he spent like 62 years on this planet Earth. February 6, 1874, he was born. So what this instruction teaches us, that if we just try to be the dust of the great souls and Krishna, then we can achieve, then we can fulfill that purpose of our Guru Parampara. And we see that there will be differences, within the community, within the family, within even the religious society, there would be differences. But if we understand the higher principles of Krishna consciousness, then we can actually harmonize the differences. And there would all be there will be so many reasons to be discouraged. But if we are sincere, then we can actually overcome those things. So, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a explanation of, discussion between Srila Ramananda Raya and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where the same discussion is there, what we are reading in this purport today, where Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling about the knowledge in the Vedas, and then he's telling about taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So Ramananda Raya also gives different levels, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking him. So I'll quickly, briefly understand what the discussion was in 10-15 minutes. So, and this is very relevant to this purport because this discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Raya gives different levels of understanding of devotional service, and we can see where we are, because it's very detailed. So who Ramananda Raya was? Ramananda Raya was a Grihastha, and when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on his tour to South India, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked him to meet Ramananda Raya because of his devotion to Krishna. And by caste of that age, Ramananda Raya was a Shudra. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a great highest level of Brahman, who is a sannyasi. And still he wanted to meet him and hear from him. So it was decided where they will meet. It was a secluded place, the night time near the Godavari river. So Godavari river, this was near Visakhapatnam in South India, and that place is still there where this meeting took place. Sometime it gets very hot there. So, and Lord Chaitanya is basically going to ask some questions about devotional service to Ramananda Raya. Lord Chaitanya knows everything. He's a literary incarnation of Vyasadeva. He's Vedescha Sarveraham Eva Vedya. He knows everything through the Vedas. He is to be known. He is absolute truth. But still, it is the nature of the personality of Godhead to be attractive, and he wants to learn from his devotees. So one is, he is asking for us, just like, Arjuna is asking Krishna on the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, he is asking for us as well. He wants to taste the devotion of his devotee, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks him, please tell me what is the ultimate goal of life from the scriptures. So this is a very important question, because all of us are looking for that goal. Where should the compass of our life be? Where should our aspirations be? And Krishna knows everything. What is that verse? Samtitani vartamani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam na vedna kashina. So Krishna knows everything. He knows the past, he knows the present, he knows the future. Krishna knows everything, and he knows all living entity, but no one knows Krishna. But still, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking this question for the benefit of all of us, and to test the devotional service of Ramananda Raya, to understand it. So here Ramananda Raya leads us to different levels of devotional service, and on the first level he tells that by following one's varnashram dharma, one can be elevated to the perfection of life. So what varnashram dharma is, we all know. There are 4 varnas and 4 ashram: brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. And varnas are brahmin, kshatriya, vaishya, shudras. So if we perform our devotional, our occupational duties, living in the varnashram dharma and worshipping Krishna at the same time, then we can attain the ultimate goal of life. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, this is external, this is bahya, give me something more. Then Ramananda Raya says that if we offer the results of our activities to Krishna, then that is the ultimate goal of life. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yat karoshi yad ashnashi, yat juhosi dadashi yat tapashyasi kaunteya, tat kurush madarpanam. Whatever you do, yat karoshi yad ashnashi, whatever you eat, yat karoshi, yat juhoshi, whatever you sacrifice and whatever you give, dadati, give away, do that as a sacrifice for me. And in that way you can come to me, and that will be the perfection of your life. So he says, this is the perfection of life. And then again Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, this is bahya, external. Tell me something more. And then Ramananda Raya says that if we renounce everything and all the duties for the pleasure of Krishna, then that is the ultimate goal of life. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaja, give up all varieties of religion. Sarva dharman parityaja, mam ekam sharanam vraja, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. Do not fear. So that is the perfection of life. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yes, this is good, but I want more. Say more. Eko bhaya. And then he says more things in Bengali. Then 4th time Ramananda Raya says that Jnana Mishra Bhakti, devotional service mixed with profound knowledge. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kangshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labate param. He says that at the stage when we are having that knowledge, jnana, and we are not hankering for what we want in the future or not lamenting for what happened in the past. Samasarve, we are looking at all the living entities equally, then you can attain the bhakti of Krishna. Generally we are mostly hankering for what we don't have or lamenting what happened. Sometimes we lament that, probably, I could have paid attention to study so that I could study the scriptures now more analytically. I could have spent more time in health, when I was in youth. Or I could have done this or that in my past. But the thing is that if we are always, lamenting for that, we have to take a new birth so that we can fulfill that desire. And again in the next life, we'll be in that same stage in youth, and there are very high chances that we again forget to take care of those things, and again we have to take birth. So instead of lamenting, it's better, whatever we have, we are grateful for that, and we continue enthusiastically with our devotional services. Sometimes old age, as the age is increasing, we are thinking the body is not healthy and there are so many problems. But if we see, old age is also a very wonderful time, as we grow old, for taking shelter of Krishna in those difficult situations when the body is not as youthful and as full of strength as it used to be. So, and sometimes we enjoy in the middle of hankering and lamenting. There is one stage where you are not lamenting or not hankering, but there is hollowness. So such kind of person, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, that kind of person is a friend of everyone, and that is the stage where bhakti begins. So how many of us are actually at that stage? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya is sitting, near the Godavari river, which is flowing, and the moon is glistening, and they are having this discussion. So he asks, okay, tell me more, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. So he says Jnana Shunya Bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti is the ultimate goal of life, which is the pure devotional service when you are absorbed in serving Krishna, in Supreme Personality of Godhead, without any desire for improvements of this world or for liberation or for suffering, because Jnanis are always, looking for liberation. So there is no desire of even liberation of suffering from this material world, or you don't want to do any improvements in this world. Simply we are doing for the pleasure of Krishna. Savai pumsa parod dharma yato bhaktir adokshaje ahetuki apratihata ye atma suprasidati. So the prime religion is to serve the Lord without any motivation and without any interruption. And that actually gives real pleasure to the heart. Because the heart is looking for pleasure. If we are not getting love, love is frustrated into lust, anger, right? So that is the highest form of devotional service that is explaining here. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, this is true what you are saying, but tell me more. And then Ramananda Rai says that prema bhakti, which is experienced by the ecstasy of the soul, and there is more lollyam and eagerness to chant the name of Krishna, to do Harinam, Sankirtan, and to be connected to our acharyas. And Rupa Goswami says that if you purchase this prema bhakti, then you can get anything and anyone and everything you can get, Rupa Goswami says. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy hearing prema bhakti, and he said, okay, this is good, but tell me more. So then Ramananda Rai explains prema bhakti in dasya bhav, dasya ras, which is in servitorship. And all these rasas have a dynamic content to it. It's not like static. It's like dynamic, where you have to do some action, you have to do some service. And sometimes with impersonal conception, there is a concept of Brahman, and their conception of prema is like something, when you are at the Brahman stage, then it is some kind of enjoyment which is non-differentiated from Brahman. But here, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going much deeper, and he wants to hear more about Dasya. So in the Nectar of Devotion, there is a description of Daruka, who is the servant of Krishna. He's a charioteer also of Krishna, right? So when he is fanning Krishna, when Krishna is taking rest, so he gets so much ecstasy that actually tears are coming out of his eyes. And he's praying for the tears to stop so that it doesn't interfere in his service to Krishna. So that is the level of Dasya Prema Bhakti that is being aspired for here. And then he explains about Sakhyaras, or devotional service as a friend of Krishna. So we see, Srimad Bhagavatam, like His Grace Dravida Prabhu just chanted a beautiful verse about the cowherd boys running to the forest, and he played the flute. So the friends of Krishna, they are wrestling with Krishna, they are joking with Krishna, they are playing, and Krishna is sometimes getting defeated, so that he can carry the cowherd boys on his shoulders, and no one is seeing him as an absolute person, and he's eating prasad with all the cowherd boys, because their mothers have packed a lunch box for them, and when they sit together, then one cowherd boy takes out some food from his tiffin box and he eats it, and he says, "Oh Krishna, this is so tasty, why don't you taste it?" And then Krishna says, "Yes, give me," and Krishna will taste it. And this way they are exchanging the love. Imagine if you do that on the altar. That will be an offense, because we are not at that level, at that prema of the cowherd boys. We cannot imitate them. We can only take inspiration and learn from them. And Yashoda Ma is chastising Krishna, that why have you eaten dirt? She's having a stick in her hand and saying, "Why did you break the butter pot?" Then she's tying Krishna to the mortar. And Krishna is independent, but still these are all activities that are happening out of love for Krishna. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, tell me higher. And then Ramananda Raya explains about the Madhurya Ras, which is the higher Ras, the love of the gopis. And all the other rasas are actually included in this Ras. And the idea of high is in relation to inclusiveness, which means that Madhurya Ras includes Shanti Ras, Dasa Ras, Sakhya Ras and Vatsalya Ras. It includes all other rasas. That is the quality of highest rasa, because it is inclusive of all those. And the gopis are actually the practitioners of Madhurya Ras. And Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita that ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajami ham. That in whatever way you surrender to me, that to that degree I'll reciprocate. But so when we are chanting the holy name, we are doing deity worship, whenever we are dealing with devotees. So the way we deal with devotees is how we are dealing with Krishna, and then that to that degree Krishna will also reciprocate with us. So Ramananda Raya speaks from the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, and he says that Krishna says that I had promised that I will reciprocate with all the gopis to the same degree they surrender to me, but I cannot do that anymore. Krishna says I cannot reciprocate to the gopis. Why? Anyone? Yeah, because Krishna says I cannot repay you, I am your debtor. And even in the lifetime of Brahma, I do not have the capacity to repay your love. I remain so your debtor. And then we know in the gopis are Krishna is again playing the flute once more, because on the night of Sharat Purnima, when the full moon is there, Krishna again plays the flute, and instead of cowherd boy, he's calling each and every gopi. And gopis are at their house, they are giving up everything, their household affairs, and they are running to near the Yamuna river to have a rasa dance with Krishna. So when Krishna plays the flute like this, all the gopis came running, and Krishna is with each and every gopi dancing, manifesting. So, and then, Ramananda Raya continues about, Srimati Radharani also, but I won't go that far because I just wanted to cover the different levels of devotional services which can be, understood from the Vedas until the pure devotional service, different stages of pure devotional service. So this is what Prahlāda Mahārāja is teaching to his classmates, and giving this knowledge so that they can be raised to another level and finally attain pure devotional service, love to Krishna, which is the ultimate goal of life. That is the question which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Raya. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments or questions? Online? Anyone? Zoom? Vijay Krishna? Okay. Okay. Srila Prabhupada? Yes, bro. Okay.
I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
Very nice lecture. Thank you. So how would the gopis play the parental role as far as Krishna goes in their rasa, their relationship?
Yeah, Yashoda Mai is a gopi. She is the mother of Krishna. And there are so many other gopis who have young boys, and Krishna is their friend. So all of them have parental loving relationship, for Krishna in that way. So although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he doesn't reveals it to them that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because they will always be in awe and reverence to him. He's always hiding that through his energies. One of his qualities, these of being God, he's hiding that quality. And because he enjoys being subordinate to his devotees. So that is the quality of Krishna, because he gets sold to his pure devotees. So that's why he's saying that I cannot repay you because you have given me so much love and you have given everything for me that I cannot repay you. So yeah, parental affection is there in so many gopis, Mother Yashoda and so many other gopis is there. Is that a question, Prabhu?
I think he's talking about within the Madhurya Ras.
Yeah. How it contains it. Yeah, so go ahead, you can.
Oh, I see. In the Madhurya Ras.
How do the gopis in Madhurya Ras express their parental affection? Because you said it's
Inclusive.
Of all the rasas.
Dravida Prabhu, would you like to answer that?
One thing that comes to mind is Mother Yashoda always has Radharani cook for Krishna because she knows that he relishes the cooking and it's always perfect, you know. So that's kind of the whole idea is maintenance. You know, you're maintaining, you're nourishing, you're maintaining. That's the parental ras. You know, taken care of. You know, like that. So that's the main way I see, at least one of the main ways that, and the gopis all help her. You know what I mean? In other words, they're also helping feed the breakfast. The breakfast is the big thing, you know, before he goes out. And she's always cooking that. And so that mood that she's cooking in is that, oh, Krishna will eat, he'll be strong, you know, and like that, and have energy to do his service. So in that way, she's there's a parental mood there also. You know, that's part of it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanwadi, Mataji.
Very nice class, and the flute was icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have a question. You mentioned about that we will do aparad if we try to pray like different vows. You said the Madhurya Ras or Sakha Bhav, but like in Pushti Marg they do the baby, you know, child like Damodar Leela and all. Is that okay, or is it imitating, or we can do that, or no?
No. Yes, Balram Prabhu, you want to speak?
I couldn't understand what you said.
About, you know, Ladu Gopal.
Mike, take the mic. Yeah.
She's just mentioning, like in Pushti Marg, they worship Krishna's, you know, baby Krishna, Ladu Gopal, and kind of in that parental mood. So she's wondering if that's okay.
Oh, I see.
She does with Krishna like that.
Yeah, like I gave the example, you know, cowherd boys are eating the food and sharing that jhuta or uchishta from their mouth to Krishna. They can do that. But imagine you go to the altar and we are offering. If we do that, that's a big offense. That's what our acharyas have given. Pancharatrika Vidhi Narad Muni has given. That is against that because, you know, we are not at that level. We cannot imitate that. We can only derive inspiration and worship these great souls. But we cannot really imitate those at any stage, whatever stage we are, you know, even at the Uttamadhikari stage, we always, you know, are humble and follow what our acharyas and our scriptures are telling us. So, yes, Dravida Prabhu, you want to add something?
I can add a little bit.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. We can worship Krishna as a baby, but the bhav or the feeling should be of being a servant of Mother Yashoda. So with that mood that we are not Krishna's mother, but we are facilitating Mother Yashoda's service, and we can worship Krishna and have baby Krishna in our altar and worship him with that bhav.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I have a comment when I'm ready.
Go ahead, Maitreya.
Hare Krishna, thank you. This is a sublime topic. So just as far as how Madhurya Ras contains the other rasas, Madhurya Ras we don't have any idea of in this world, because in this world relationships are exploitative. But in the spiritual platform, the Madhurya Ras, they're completely sold out servants of Krishna, and they care about him. They have those feelings, just like the caring feelings that are part of that. So it's not that the gopis are absorbed in worshiping baby Krishna. They have a more mature relationship with Krishna, but It's not something we speculate about. We can read about it in the scriptures, and we can see that way how all the rasas are contained within that ras. So that's a very nice point. It's a sublime point. It's all explained in the conversation between Ramananda Roy and Lord Chaitanya. We have a nice passage that we spoke on from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a very, very deep subject matter, and it can become cheapened if it's discussed in the wrong environment. And so you'll find that even when he discussed those topics with Ramananda Roy, he did so in secret. I mean, it's published in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, but in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, he never spoke like that in public, ever. It was always encouraging people to chant. And then with regard to deity worship, as you mentioned, the Narada Pancharatra sets out a mood of awe and reverence. And even if a devotee is experiencing internally advancement in higher rasas, still the behavior on the altar is never going to be anything but awe and reverence. That's the standard. So those are my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
One final, hold on. One final little editing thing. If you read the old Krishna book, the original Krishna book we had for, I don't know, 30 years or so, I noticed that Prabhupada would always refer, there's the gopis. The gopis, the young gopis, and then there's the elderly gopis. But they're not, elderly means old, wrinkly, can't walk so well. He meant elder gopis. So that's why you see elder is different than elderly. Do you know that?
No.
Yes.
How is
that's because you're from India. That's why we probably was. Elderly, the connotation is 75, but Mother Yashoda is not 75.
Yeah.
They're elder. They're older than the young gopis. Their elder means just older. You see, Balarama is Krishna's elder brother. So all those elderlies became elder. I mean, there are elderly personalities, older. Grandmother, Radharani's grandmother, but that's rare. So just be sure to read the latest edition of the Krishna book.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Sorry, what is? Vijay Krishna.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, I was going to say Prabhupada, and you said before that, so you have the right to ask now.
Thank you, Prabhu. You're most kind. So in the translation, I see that Prahlāda Mahārāja is declaring that if we surrender to religion, economic development, and sense gratification, then our lives will become materialistic. But if we surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, then our lives will become transcendental. So based on this, my exact question is, in terms of pain and pleasure, what is the difference between the materialistic way of life and the transcendental way of life? Because I do believe that Prahlāda Mahārāja is recommending the transcendental way of life because of wanting for us to not suffer.
Okay, so what is your question, Prabhu? I didn't get it.
The difference in terms of pain and pleasure, who is there suffering and who is there having pleasure? The materialistic one or the transcendental one? Because you see, when we base our lives in religion, economic development, and sense gratification, our lives become materialistic. But Prahlāda Mahārāja is saying that is rejecting this because he, at least it's my understanding, he's rejecting for him. A life based on religion, economic development, and sense gratification is not different from a life of suffering. That's why he is recommending surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, and he categorizes this surrender as transcendental. So in a sense, my question is, what kind of pleasure will be there for me if my life becomes transcendental, because I surrender to the lotus feet of Vishnu. Is there any pleasure for me to experience if my life becomes transcendental because
Vijay, we have it. We understand. Okay. Now, you want to answer? Go ahead.
You can answer it.
Chapter 5, text 21, 22. 22. Yahi sangspaja boga dukkha yonayevate ajandavanta kotaya nateshu rimate buddha. There's pleasure there. It says boga. There is some pleasure. But it says there that intelligent people don't take part in the pleasures that are due to the contact of the senses with the sense objects. O son of Kunti, such pleasures are the source of misery, and they have a beginning and an end, and so the wise do not delight in them. Previous verse, Bayas parshesh vasaktatma vindityatmati yat sukham sab brahma yoga yuktadma sukham akshayam ashnute. There's pleasure, that's why it says kama. There's pleasure in material life, but it's flickering. And it ultimately results in suffering. The main suffering is, again, take a birth. So that flickering happiness, which has been bewildering us since time immemorial, and drawing us in, and we die again, we have to control that, and that's those very senses used in serving Krishna. The bias parsha means he's not attracted to the external. This is the transcendentalist, but he's enjoying the pleasure within, which is akshayam. It doesn't break, whereas the other one is. That's the contrast, yes. and Rupa Goswami very graphically gives it the pleasures that are due to the senses, gross pleasures, are like a drop of water in the desert of Brahmananda, attaining Brahma, and that Brahmananda is a drop in the desert compared to the ocean of Premananda, of actually rasa with Krishna. So we have to have faith in that and practice, and we'll start to experience some of that and be able to give up the lower.
I would like to add one more shlok from Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvida bhajante maam ye jana paryupasate arti arthati jigyasu jnani cha bharatarsha. So Krishna is saying that 4 kind of people come to me. One who are distressed, one who seek wealth, one who are looking for knowledge, and one who are on advanced level, jnani. So then Krishna and Prabhupada says in the purport also that it's not that, the one who is in distress, because he's the first one who's coming. Arti artharti jigyasu. It's not that, they should not go to Krishna. If they are in distress or they need wealth, if they are going to Krishna, that is like starting of the spiritual life. That, my dear Lord, I want this. Dhanam janam sundaram I want. Krishna is merciful. He will give in such a way so that he progresses on devotional path. So that should not be discounted, because it actually takes one to the next level, right? Yeah, it can lead to the next level. So even though these Vedas and everything are not telling about pure devotional service, but still they are means of being promoted to the spiritual platform. So if somebody is chanting for, say, money or for some relief, we cannot say, oh, you are in Maya, or you shouldn't do that, because you can't expect anyone and everyone to just raise to the highest level of pure devotional service stage. It's very, very difficult. It's not easy. We just discussed so many different levels, so we know where we are. I don't even think I'm at the first level. What Ramanand Rai is explaining. So these are like very high subject matters, and if anyone is chanting the names of Krishna, worshipping, trying to go on that path, we should encourage them and, basically appreciate them for what they are doing.
Yes, but Srila Prabhupada did say in one of his classes in Australia, by answering to a question of a devotee in the temple room, that you surrender to Krishna can happen in a minute. 1 minute.
Yes. 1 minute. How long it takes to surrender to Krishna? Prabhupada answers 1 minute. Yeah.
1
moment. 1 moment, he says.
Instantaneous.
Yeah. Moment is less than a minute.
Final word. First canto, 2nd chapter, text 7 or 8. Dharma svanstitak pungsham vishrakshena katasuyak.
Oh yeah, this is what.
Notpadi jadidatim shramehevi kevalam. If your dharma, you're nicely formed, and it's su anustita, Very nicely performing your duties in the Varnashram Dharma, but it doesn't lead to attraction to hear about Krishna or God. It is from eva kevalam.
It's labor.
Yeah. So the Dharma, if it only goes Dharma, Artha, Kama, and that passage is all about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And so whatever, Kamasi and Indriya Priti, Labho Jiveta Yavata, you should live very simply. Don't, whatever desires you have, don't let that become the goal of your life. Rather, Jigyasa is back to the first verse of the Vedanta Sutra. Your goal should be to inquire into the absolute truth, like that. So that's where it's all reconciled. We really need to end.
Yes. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I hope it answered your question, Vijay Krishna Prabhu.
Oh, it did. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.